God bless America. Hello, everybody. I'm back. This is the Talk Radio Protege with another NPR-style video because I still haven't fully recovered from being sick last weekend. I think I'm almost there. I might be back to normal tomorrow, but the news isn't taking a day off, so neither am I. Apparently there was another federal judge that moved or blocked, quote-unquote, the president's move to end the Deferred Action for Criminal Aliens program. I wanted to show you a couple of things in here that are interesting to me, and I also want to show you a clip of President Obama commenting on this such issue. The judge is from the Eastern District of New York. I don't think that's a federal district. Maybe it is. Either way, there will be more appeals to move this case up the chain. A lot of time is going to be spent on this. The judge said this: defendants, that would be the government, indisputably can end the DACA program. The question before the court is thus not whether the defendants could end the DACA program, but whether they offered legally adequate reasons for doing so. Now, here's the thing about the DACA program. Just in case you've forgotten, the DACA program was put in place by President Obama. It was done by executive fiat. No other branch of Congress was thusly involved. And tell me if this doesn't make sense to you. If you're a person or a company or an individual and you set up and run a program by yourself for random segment of the community X, and your program makes widgets that you give to the random segment of the community, if you are the sole proprietor of the program, you have full authority to say, I'm going to terminate this program, or I'm going to keep this program running another day. Are you not? That's the way that that's the relationship of the executive branch to the DACA program. The executive branch is the sole proprietor of the DACA program. You could almost say that the President of the United States is the sole proprietor of the DACA program. Therefore, it is up to and only to the discretion of the President whether or not the DACA program continues to run another day. And here we have a judge saying, yeah, you can shut down the DACA program, but you have to do it the right way. And I'm going to show you quotes in a minute. It definitely sounds like the guy is saying, well, it's not that you want to shut it down, it's the way you want to shut it down type thing. The judge said that the decision to end the DACA program was based in part on the plainly, quote-unquote, plainly incorrect factual premise that the program was illegal. Now, I'm not a grammar Nazi. I'm not a syntax Nazi. But the phrase plainly incorrect factual premise makes absolutely no sense to me. Well, it makes sense to me, but it doesn't make sense the way that I know the judge wanted it to mean. Let me walk you through my thought process, and you let me know if I'm right or wrong on this. Plainly modifies incorrect, and factual modifies premise. But I don't understand how plainly incorrect modifies factual premise. I don't understand how they connect. Unless incorrect modifies factual, which doesn't make sense because plainly incorrect, factual, anything after that makes no sense. The phrase plainly incorrect, factual doesn't make sense. It's a contradiction. It's not a double negative, but it's contradictory descriptors. So is the judge saying that the premise is factual? Or is the judge saying that the premise is plainly incorrect? Because he's saying one or the other. He can't be saying that the premise is plainly incorrect because he put factual between incorrect and premise. And incorrect can't be modifying factual because an adjective, if I remember correctly from my days in English, an adjective can't modify an adjective. That's probably not, that can't be true, because you can modify colors, right? Okay, I'm getting stuck on this point, so I'm gonna just go ahead and move on. As to the idea that the DACA program was not illegal, I just want to take you to the words of one president who said exactly this.
Temporary protective status historically has been used for special circumstances where you have immigrants to this country who are fleeing persecution in their countries. I
want to stop really quick and point out what we're talking about. We're talking about temporary protected status, which is precisely what the DACA program is doing. And the president, or the ex-president, is correct when he says that there's a temporary protected status that the United States can do for people in extremely perilous circumstances when they're trying to come to the United States. They're on a timetable to get out of their country, so it's more important to get them out of their country and immigrated and then get them legal status than it is to get them legal status and then immigrate them.
Some emergency situation in their native land that required them to come to the United States. So it would not be appropriate to use that just for a particular group that came here primarily, for example, because they were looking for economic opportunity.
Now, do you hear what he just said? There's a little bit more. I think there's just a little bit more in the clip, so I'll go ahead and roll it through in a moment. But he said the temporary protected status is for people, for instance, that are fleeing persecution. And what he didn't say, but that he was insinuating, is that if your safety is on a timetable and you need to leave your native country according to United States law to come to the United States in order to survive, then the United States can extend temporary protected status so that you can immigrate and then become legalized, go through all the proper channels and everything. Because staying in your native country is more likely to get you killed than not. So we immigrate you, we give you the temporary status while your paperwork is being filed. And then he goes on to say it would be inappropriate for people who came here seeking economic opportunity, because you're not on a timetable in your native country. You're just uncomfortable. You want to improve your economic status, so you're going to migrate from your home country to the United States of America. And since your life is not on a timetable, you can't get temporary protected status, is what the president is saying. And why are the DACA participants in this country? Why are the DACA participants in this country? It's because their parents or somehow they came over here illegally seeking economic opportunity, and now they've got this temporary protected status under the DACA program.
With respect to the notion that I can just suspend deportations through executive order, that's just not the case, because there are laws on the books that Congress has passed. And I know that everybody here at Bell is studying hard, so you know that we've got 3 branches of government. Congress passes the law. The executive branch's job is to enforce and implement those laws. And then the judiciary has to interpret the laws. There are enough laws on the books by Congress that are very clear in terms of how we have to enforce our immigration system, that for me to simply, through executive order, ignore those congressional mandates would not conform with my appropriate role as president. I can't do it by myself.
Now, hear what he just said there, that he can't ignore the law through executive mandate. And yet that's precisely what DACA does. He said that it would be inappropriate to give temporary protected status to economic migrants, and he can't do it through executive fiat. So the judge saying, again, this totally bogus phrase, plainly incorrect factual premise, that the program was illegal. The program is exactly illegal. Not only is it illegal, it's inappropriate. According to President Barack Hussein Obama. Now, this from a spokesperson of the National Immigration Law Center. I'm not sure. I want to change that acronym. I want to change one of those words to make it more appropriate, but I can't figure out which one to do. Today's ruling shows that courts across the country, it's not courts across the country, lady, it's two courts. The one in New York and the one from, I think it was earlier this year, that ruled against the government in this. This week, the Supreme Court is set to meet behind closed doors to discuss whether to take up Trump's administration's appeal of the related case. They will probably take up the appeal because the way that our government operates right now, the court gets the final say on just about everything. So if the Supreme Court were to turn down the DACA case, that means that it would be the liberal court's interpretation that have struck down the DACA, the shutting down of DACA. It would be their interpretation that flies. And so far we've got enough constitutionalists on the court that they're taking the right cases. Now what I think is also worthy to comment on is this here. Judge brought up Norway comments. Gravis, however you pronounce his name, gave a blistering critique of what he called the president's recurring redundant drumbeat of anti-Latino commentary. Now, remember, when the courts were striking down the travel bans in the early days of the Trump administration, they said that they did it because of what he said on the campaign trail. What he was alleged to say, not even anything that he actually said, just what he was alleged to say on the campaign trail about wanting to ban all Islam. Or banning all Muslims from coming to the United States. They said that was good enough reason to block the travel ban. So we haven't got off of that. We still have judges acting as offense police. And if the president said something offensive on the campaign trail, then the policies that he wants to do in the orbit of that comment, he doesn't get to do. So even if it was to be something that was totally constitutional, that was limited in scope, if the president said, I want to ban all Muslims from the United States of America, which he did not, but let's assume that he did, and then he said, I want to pass a travel ban against the country of North Korea, because North Korea is an enemy of the United States of America. And then the courts are then saying, you can't pass a travel ban against North Korea because you said you wanted to ban all Muslims, and that's just not right. That is not okay. That's the situation that we have going on right now. That's how ridiculous this whole thing is. Thank you guys for watching. That's going to do it for this video. I hope that I'll be back to fighting shape tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back to normal. I'll be covering the news events as usual throughout this week. I hope that you guys have enjoyed these past couple of days, even though I haven't been 100%. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Come back tomorrow. I'll be doing a brand new report. Hope to see you then. Until then, good night and God bless.